Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Rose Knows. So in this article, Rod Blanchard states that DeeDee Blanchard got what she asked for. Let's talk about this for a second. I don't know how any individual, any decent human being can think for 1 second that this was deserved. Think about it. Her own daughter, his own daughter, unalived her mother. His own daughter had her mother jabbed 17 times. His own daughter practically had her mother decapitated. And Rod Blanchard has the audacity to say that DeeDee got what she asked for. And he goes on to say because she was just a bad mother. She was just a bad mother. And so she deserved this? Because wasn't Rod just a bad father? Rod didn't care enough to show up for Gypsy. They could sit there with all of their stories and all of their nonsense and blah, blah, blah. But we know that Rod never showed up for his daughter. He never cared enough to be involved. He cared enough to be involved with his other children and Christy, but he never cared enough to be involved with Gypsy. Until this crime was committed and there was a story that could make money. Then, all of a sudden, he cared enough. Then, all of a sudden, it was worth it for him to have a relationship with her and to show up and be a dad. That's when it was worth it. But to sit there and say that DeeDee deserved it because she was a bad mother, when you also were a bad parent, you were a bad father, kind of crazy to say that, isn't it? And then I want you to stop and think about it for a second. Okay? Rod needs to take an awful lot of accountability and responsibility for this unaliving as well. Because think about it. If Rod did care enough to be a father, and he did care enough to show up for Gypsy and be there and be involved, then maybe, just maybe, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. But he didn't care enough. Not until the money could be made for the story. That's when he shows up. That's when they come full force talking about, I love her. She's my baby girl. I'm not going to, no. She wasn't your baby girl when she was being abused, supposedly. Right? Like you didn't know nothing. You were so uninvolved that you had no inkling that the kid was being abused, tied to a bed, and all this other stuff was happening. Okay, if you say so. Anyway, in this article, he also goes on to state that he tried to be there for her. Did you really? Did you really? Where? When? You're either there or you're not. There is no I tried to be but couldn't be there. Like you were either there or you weren't, and you weren't. So, where was the attempt? Because you paid some child support so they left you alone? That was like your attempt? What? I don't know. Then he goes on to say that he could have done better. Oh, yeah. You could have done a whole lot better. You could have been a father to Gypsy like you were to Mia and Dylan. Just saying, in my opinion. Then you wonder why Gypsy's all jealous of him. You showed up for them. Again, I'm just saying, just my opinion. Let's move on. In this article, he goes on to state again, I could never really judge her for what she's done. I'm never going to sit down and tell her what you did was wrong. What? What? So you don't think she was wrong for unaliving her mother? For carrying out this heinous crime? You're never going to tell her what she did was wrong? Here he is, showing up, being a great parent. Ain't she lucky? Lucky duck her. And he would never ask, why didn't you just call me? Well, you should ask that. Number one, she was wrong for what she did. Absolutely wrong. And maybe you not telling her that she was wrong, maybe because you're sitting there telling her it was justified, that's the reason why she's not taking accountability and responsibility. But I need you all to understand, she is absolutely wrong for what she did. And you can give as many excuses as you think justifies it, but nothing, in my opinion, justifies what happened to DeeDee Blanchard. Nothing. Okay? And yeah, why didn't she call you? Because she sure could hop online and on a telephone to be with men. You didn't question it when she was sending you sexual pictures and tagging you on Facebook. You didn't question any of that though, right? She could be and run away with men and be with men and be in hotel rooms with men, but she couldn't call you. And you'll never question her on why you didn't call me. Again, showing up. Great dad, you. Don't hold her accountable. Don't hold her responsible for her actions. You're still being a horrible parent, in my opinion. So this is the story. This is what's happening. I think that they're disgusting people. Nothing will change my mind about that. But I'm really curious as to what you guys think. What do you guys think about him saying that DeeDee got what she asked for? Like, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the fact that he wasn't there for her? And maybe if he was, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. So I'm really curious. I really, you guys see me interacting in your comments. So I really want to know what your thoughts on the whole situation are. And am I the only one who thinks this way? Let me know. Talk to you guys later.